This is The Hero's Journey and Everything Everywhere All at Once by Cameron Sears. The protagonist in Central Conflict is Evelyn Wang as the main character. She's a Chinese American immigrant running a laundromat out of California. When she is introduced to watchers, we can clearly see that she is a hardworking businesswoman, but she is troubled by stress and dealing with her business, family drama, and IRS issues. Her real life parallels the film's main conflict point of a falling apart multiverse, and that her life is falling apart. Her husband wants a divorce, and she is struggling to connect to her lesbian daughter who is suffering from her fight for her family's acceptance. The idea of not airing out your dirty laundry is symbolic in the film. The main part of the laundromat is clean and bright lighted, but the loft behind the laundromat is cluttered with receipts and is an overall hot mess, and has dark lighting. As an immigrant woman, Evelyn has the added pressure of having her life together and overcoming institutional and societal structures imposed on immigrants that exacerbate the struggles for success. Evelyn puts on a put-together facade, but behind the scenes, her life is seemingly a mess. Wayman Wang is her husband. Her rocky relationship with her family is rooted in Evelyn leaving with Wayman to America to start a family against her father's wishes. He is weak but kinder in relation to Evelyn in reality, but the other multiverse version of himself is strong and rich, and she relies on him as opposed to him relying on her in her reality multiverse. He also appears as another version of himself in the multiverse that finds Evelyn believing that she can save the world. As different ways Evelyn's life could have gone had she not immigrated to America with him, she realizes how foundational that decision was in producing the unhappy life she has now. Despite this unhappiness being deeply connected to him, he is one of her few allies in the film, and throughout every multiverse, she always finds her way back to him. Wayman even says in the film that in another that she would be happy with the life that they have in her universe. Joy Wang is her daughter. She has a rocky relationship with Evelyn, who has always been so busy with the business that she struggled connecting with Joy in a meaningful way. This also connects to the relationship that Evelyn had with her father being so rocky. As appearing as Jobu, she embodies the evil that is taking over the universe. Joy is symbolic in that it shows that the pursuit of joy is the origin of evil. Noted in an article by Medium, the word Jobu is a completely meaningless name for the main villain of their story, epitomizing the nihilism that comes from the radical relativism of postmodernity. If everything in life is relative, and the outcome of decisions are random, a meaningless feeling of being able to uncontrol your life comes about that. Jabu, mastering verse jumping, which allows her to switch from strength to strength, shows her loss of identity and seeing life as a fragmented moments, contradictions, and inconsistency, as Joy says in the movie. The first stage that I wanted to highlight is refusal recall. When Evelyn first meets the alternate version of Wayman, she struggles fully committing to the mission. She has so much to worry about in her real world. Her relationship with her husband, failing her IRS tax audit, and relationship struggles with her daughter, and her estranged dad being there, who is now dying. She doesn't believe she has the ability to save the world because she's failing in her own small one now. This also connects to themes of nihilism, as she's rejecting the idea that any of her actions would have such a significant outcome on the universe, because her life has taught her that even when she works so hard, the outcome she wants never surfaces. She always goes through struggles, and she never is fully satisfied. Feminist revisions to this refusal to call are important to note. Evelyn's refusal to call remains consistent throughout the film, marking a break in the hero's journey. Campbell's hero's journey is based on a male-coded individualism and linear progress, fighting something completely outside of the hero's world. But Evelyn's journey is rooted in her everyday labors, repairing her marriage, understanding her daughter, and taking care of her family. Women don't have the ability to just up and leave their familial obligations. In fact, these domestic obligations are culturally and structurally assigned to motherhood. Her heroism doesn't come from abandoning these obligations, but confronting them, acknowledging their emotional weight, and choosing to remain present with them. Supernatural aid is the next stage that I wanted to highlight. The alternate version of Wayman is the most obvious encounter with the guiding figure. He tells her she has the ability to save the world and gives her insight on how to start the journey. He even gives her the tools to start it, like the little paper that told her how to enter into another multiverse. But to go even deeper, the headset placed on her initially that caused her entire life to flash before her eyes was the more pivotal supernatural encounter to her story. She's confronted with the weight of her whole life and forced to look at every single decision she made and its butterfly effect. Her own life is her call to action, and seeing how all of that went wrong. Crossing the threshold is the next stage I want to highlight. Evelyn crosses into the Universe with her first jump, and she develops karate skills needed to fight Deirdre, which is the IRS agent. Being able to do this proves that what Wayman said was correct. She has the skills to jump into a verse that gives her the strength to combat any obstacle. The confusion on her face about her abilities to fight Deirdre shows that this first jump is pivotal. She's on the brink of being truly convinced of her ability to save the world. However, she's not fully gone into it yet because she's still confused how she is able to do this. For now, she thinks she's still so rooted in her reality obligations and doesn't believe that she has the ability to overcome these obstacles. Apotheosis is the next one I wanted to highlight. Evelyn comes face to face with Joy when she discovers it's a Jabu that Wayman had been talking about as a source of the multiverse danger. The black hole that is making everything feel off was created by Jabu. Jabu tells her the story of opening the black hole. She got bored one day and put literally everything into the world onto a bagel. It is important to note that the examples she gives are a mix of what gives humans identity, like hopes and dreams, and the things that don't really have much substance, like seeds, personal ads on Craigslist, dog breeds. Equating these things further shows how Jabu believes everything, big or little, really has no meaning. Even though Evelyn knows this is Jabu, she still calls her Joy, showing that she is still connected to her reality and is beginning to see the immense pressure she put onto her daughter. The alternate version of her father is the one who pulls her out of the trance and disrupts this period of deep enlightenment. A lot of her internal struggles are learned from her father's harsh condemnation of her life choices, while also trying to prove him wrong. It makes sense that he would be the one to pull her back into the reality, representing how deeply her identity is tied to him. Freedom to live is the next one. Evelyn accepts that maybe there is something out there. That quote, maybe there is something out there. Some new discovery that will make us feel like even smaller pieces of shit. Something that explains why you still went looking for me through all this noise. But even despite all that, she still wants a relationship with her daughter and to understand her. This acceptance that even if all these nihilistic ways to look at life are true, she's still deeply grounded in her love for her daughter, and that is not meaningless. This is a break from the monomyth because her renewal is rooted in herself, not her community. It reveals these biases and limitations that are inherent in the monomyth. Even though she got Jobu to destroy the black hole, Evelyn doesn't become some savior figure who changes the larger world. Instead, she returns to her laundromat, accompanied by her family, and confronted her life experiences. Her daughter and her finally were able to communicate their feelings with each other, showing that she truly is changed by being able to connect to her loved ones, not just bring some societal change or get public recognition for this journey. This deviation matters because it redefines what counts as meaningful change. Campbell's hero's journey is rooted in individual transformation that must bring some guidance to society. But Evelyn's hero's journey shows that to be triumphant in a journey can also be achieved in things smaller and more personal, like family and internal emotions. In conclusion, I wanted to note that as seen in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Joseph Campbell's hero's journey does not apply to all cultures and experiences. Feminist revisions revealed the monomyth is male-centered and staged in a way that ignores the way women interact with and overcome obstacles in the real world. Evelyn's journey is not just defined by masculine archetypes of destroying some mythic force, but it's rooted in emotional and vulnerable transformation. The film shows that Stages in the Monomyth completely ignores the complexity of individuality shaped by generational trauma, cultural identity, and lived experiences. Evelyn overcame barriers imposed on her by society as an immigrant woman, discrediting the simplicity of a hero being able to just abandon their reality to embark on a journey that requires them to return with some universal truth. Evelyn doesn't dramatically transform society. She dramatically transforms herself in the way she approaches life with compassion rather than indifference. Thank you, and here are my sources.